My spoiled neighbors demands full access to our house while they renovate their run-down house. So I first met James and Rose when I heard my doorbell ring. I head downstairs and find them already in my living room. Yep. My girlfriend opened the door and they just waltzed right in like they owned the place. Awkwardly said hello whilst guiding them back out the front door. Thought that was that. Boy, was I wrong. James and Rose bought an ex-council house that had been badly damaged by the last tenants. I'm talking busted walls, shattered windows, you name it. House was listed accurately, so none of this was a surprise to them. Strangely, I never had problems with the people who used to rent. Was amazed when they left and I saw the damage they'd done. James and Rose decided I'd be helping them out and had the audacity to come over with a contract they'd drafted, stating that their builders can use my garden, my bathroom, and that they could use my kitchen whenever they needed until theirs was installed. Them handing me this contract was the second time I ever interacted with them. I went round and told them it was ludicrous and to shove it. They weren't pleased and slammed the door in my face. Not too long after, I find them stood in my back garden. My girlfriend had been hanging up laundry, and they'd apparently heard her and decided to let themselves through my front yard, around the side of my house, and right up to her. Girlfriend was practically frozen holding up a pair of her pants, whilst they were just stood there, looking around and smiling. They then suggested, given how unhelpful I'd been with their renovations, that I host a BBQ for them and their friends. What friends, you ask? Beats me. I shut that down quick and told them to never come through to my back garden again. But they weren't done and couldn't leave yet. They had the gall to propose, straight after being told to GTFO, that I give up roughly 1/5 of my garden so our gardens could be equally sized. I told them in no uncertain terms that they can forget it. Not my problem, they bought a house with a smaller garden. I was seeing red, and I think they knew they'd pushed it too far as they scampered away. I guess James and Rose decided that since I wouldn't willingly give them part of my garden, they'd try taking it instead. From my back room I saw some guy standing at the end of my garden. I went out to ask who he was and how the hell he got there, when in saunters, you guessed it, James and Rose. Turns out James and Rose had torn down our adjoining fence, and this guy was planning where the new one would go, clearly not having been told that it's my garden, and I absolutely was not on board with this plan. Oh, but wait, they also peeped through my windows and had questions about my belongings. I do kickboxing and have a bob, a life-size training dummy, and did I know that it's scary and should probably be moved away from the window? They didn't want to see it whilst they were enjoying their newly enlarged garden. I calmly told the man that I was keeping all of my garden, and none of them had my permission to be there. I also informed them that if I catch them in my garden again, they're volunteering to be my new Bob. Last I heard, they tried to bully our 70-year-old neighbor into giving up part of his garden. He's got early onset dementia, and 4 of his 5 sons visit regularly, but don't live with him. I stay in contact with them as I go round to help my neighbor now and then, or just to chat and keep him company. He's a really cool guy, and hearing him upset about some contract and losing where his shed is, and I was fighting to not see red. One text to his sons and that nonsense was shut down real quick. I never thought I'd meet people this entitled, but here we are. Needless to say, James and Rose have kept their distance since my very explicit warnings, which extend to bothering our deal old neighbor too. My girlfriend is back to hanging up washing outside, but she won't open the front door without checking the ring cam first now, just in case it's them. Anyone else dealt with neighbors from hell like this?